market or the government guiding
Okay, there's
the
the
market. And I
time.
think that language is interesting because, you know, we've had for the last 25 years or
Back
something,
over to the lab.
like he was
Let's
talking about
see.
this shift
If I
towards
put the camera down
deregulation and this
here.
thinking that, you know, okay, well, the market is really smart. You've got all these incredibly smart, well-paid people on Wall Street, and they're going to do what's in their best self-interest, which
Ouch.
is police themselves and have an open
You
playing field
have,
and, you know, make sure things are working properly. And, you know, we find out in the
can you
last
see? We
couple
have
of
cooked
years
soap.
that a
See,
lot
it's
of
changed
these
color. The island's
companies were
gone.
basically playing roulette
And
with the
it's all
entire
translucent
economy, and they
looking.
lost, and, you
Stick
know, we're
my
in the worst
spoon
recession
in,
in 30 years. So
and it's nice and
in
smooth.
his administration, you're going to see a shift.
And there you
And
go.
this
Oop,
idea
yep, it's
of
all
guiding
cooked.
the market, the government
So,
getting
for
back
this
involved
batch,
in, you know, opening the doors and looking at what's going on inside these companies. And you know, we don't know exactly what shape that's going to take, but that's going to be a big deal.
And the president-elect was speaking
adding
indirectly about the bailout needed by the auto companies. That, of course, is still resting with his predecessor, George W. Bush. As the
1
president-elect was speaking,
tablespoon,
George W. Bush was speaking at the American
2
Enterprise Institute
tablespoons of
talking
heavy
about
cream,
the situation with the car makers. We know that Chrysler and General Motors,
and
they need an infusion of billions immediately if they are to stave off a bankruptcy in the short-term future. Ford
oops,
not in that position, at least not quite yet. The president said
one,
that he has not made up his mind on what to do. In the meantime, at the White House, Dana Perino, the press secretary, told reporters, "We're going to do something."
2
But she
tablespoons of
said the
honey.
president is not going to allow a disorderly collapse of those companies. That would be chaotic. There would be a shock to the system.
Ooh, it's going to
There
be
is
pretty
an
thin.
orderly way to do bankruptcies that provides for more of a
This
soft
is thinner
landing.
than
I think
usual.
that's what we would be talking about.
Every so
Several
often, you know,
countries
you get a
so
batch that's just
being
really
considered apparently
runny.
short-term loans out of that $700 billion
It's a very runny
that
batch.
Congress
See,
authorized
this is
for
very
a
fluid.
financial
This will pour
bailout.
quite nicely.
Many, and mostly Democrats, you have to say, are arguing that some of that, the $15 billion, should be diverted to help the car companies. That's opposed by a lot of Republicans, Chris Arnold.
Yeah, you know,
You
this
stir
whole
it
idea
real
of bailing,
good.
you know, the idea of bailing out the automakers who have made a lot of mistakes over the years and resisted making cars that are more fuel efficient and everything. I know that people don't like that, but you know, it's also sometimes when you're stuck in a very bad situation. I mean, the economy is sort of the patient on life support on the table, and you do stuff that you know you otherwise wouldn't do it. You take steroids. You know, you do things that steroids aren't good, but you know, well, if you're really sick, you take them. And the idea is that you know a lot of people are arguing, look, to lose 1 million plus jobs right now, it would just be so bad for the economy that it's, you know, we just got to do it, you know, and maybe these companies fail in several years anyway, but it's just a bitter pill that we have to swallow, and it'll be interesting to see how the Bush administration goes forward.
The president also said today that he is aware of his responsibilities to his successor and that he did not want to stick in with a financial catastrophe on his first day in office. So all of this remains to be seen as to how it will play out. Ken Rudin, as we mentioned earlier,
Wow,
the
this batch is going to pour
president-elect
out very nicely, but
in
it's going
the
to take
conference
forever to harden up.
the decision to select Rick Warren to speak at the inauguration, and that has been something bitterly criticized, as we mentioned, particularly by gays and lesbians. Rick Warren is not merely an opponent of gay marriage. The president-elect is not a supporter of gay marriage, but he's been critical of homosexual rights across the board.
And Rick Warren is not only just speaking at the inauguration, he's giving the invocation. Rick Warren, the head of the big Saddleback Church in California, longtime opponent of same-sex marriage, gay-lesbian rights, stem cell research, abortion. Barack Obama said, look, I don't share those views, but I made a point during the campaign of bringing other
Okay,
outside
that's it.
outside opinions together, that we could agree